Welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast, the show for ambitious women ready to get off the hot mess express. I know you've got a lot going on. You work so hard, you're raising an incredible family, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a certified master life coach, attorney, wife, and mom. And years ago, I was right where you are. I was running a busy law practice while raising a family, and I was on the fast track to burnout. I thought I just needed to be more organized or have better routines, but it was learning how to heal and regulate my nervous system that expanded my capacity to gracefully hold more of this big, beautiful life. You too are worthy of an extraordinary life in and beyond motherhood. Learning to be a calm, anchoring presence in your home and at work is going to be your superpower. If you're here to do the inner work that brings a sense of calm amidst the chaos, I'm here to join you on that journey. Each time you press play, your growth continues. So let's get at it. Hey, you guys, it's Michelle here. Welcome back to the Calm Mom Podcast. Today on the show, we're going to talk about 7 signs that chronic stress has you stuck in a freeze response. I just think this is something that doesn't get nearly enough attention when we're talking about stress. We hear a lot about fight or flight, that go, hyper alert, kind of anxious activated energy. And freeze is different. Freeze is typically what happens when we've been on the go, and then our nervous system, our body is so overwhelmed by the chronic stress that it's almost like it slams the brakes, right? If you're thinking about a car and that fight or flight energy is like the gas pedal, it helps us to go. It gives us kind of a lot of this energy. It makes us mobile. Freeze would be the brake, right? Your freeze response would be your system's brake. And when we're in a freeze response, it's not like our body's gently tapping the brake, right? Like we're going and we're slowing and we're going and we're slowing. When we're in a freeze response, it's almost like our body slams the brakes. It's what our body does when that fight or flight, we've been doing it for a hot minute, it hasn't worked or it's no longer working or we've run out of gas and it feels like there's no way out. And for a lot of the women I work with, you've been under chronic stress for so long that this is where you find yourself, right? You've been in high stress seasons. You're not wired anymore, right? It's not anymore of like the high energy and the anxiety and the go anytime. Now it's more of the burnout and the disconnection and the numbness and like the being exhausted but can't sleep and overwhelmed but feel like you can't get started, and it's procrastination, and you're not blowing up all the time. You're not running away. You just feel kind of stuck, right? And if that's you, I just want to speak to you for a moment. Like, you're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're not failing. You're not a procrastinator. You are likely in a freeze response. Your nervous system is in a freeze response. So let's talk about it today. I want to go through a little bit more about the science of the freeze response, just so we can understand what's happening in our body and why this is going on. And then I want to go through 7 signs that you might be stuck in freeze. So if you resonate with these and you're like, oh my gosh, I have some of these symptoms that I'm in a freeze response. Wow. Awesome. Right? Now you know you can give yourself some compassion. You understand why you're in this state. And then you can gently work with your body to help gently shift you out of a freeze response. Okay. So freeze is part of your body's natural survival response. We actually evolved with this system to keep us safe. And this makes sense, right? Think about like, this happens to us and it happens to all animals, right? Animals in the wild. Think of like an impala in the Serengeti and it notices a lion in the brush, right? It can subconsciously choose its nervous system, bam, send you into fight or flight. We are going to run from this lion or we're going to battle and we're going to fight this lion, right? However, if your nervous system in that split second decides, nope, we're actually not able to outrun this lion, right? Either we've seen this lion before or this lion is way too fast, or there's no way we're going to fight this lion. That's not our best chance for our survival. This lion would whoop us, right? If it's not fight or flight, then it's freeze. And then the impala essentially would play dead, right? That's what its nervous system would decide is the best chance for survival. And the same thing happens to us. We evolved with a freeze response to keep us safe. But when we are in chronic stress, i.e. not just once in a while when there's a lion in the brush, but like all day, everyday stress from finances and health and marriage and kids and parenting and work and all of the things, right? We're not designed to be under that level of stress all the time. So our nervous system over time is like, man, fight or flight ain't going to cut it, right? That sympathetic nervous system ramping up to help us escape or defend, not going to cut it. Our nervous system decides that the threat is too much. It's chronic. It's constant. It's inescapable. It's too overwhelming, or it's gone on too long, and it resorts to a freeze response. It's our nervous system tapping out, right? Shutting her down. It's conservation. And physiologically, we call this our dorsal vagal state. It's part of our parasympathetic nervous system, but it's not actually restful. It's a shutdown state, and it slows down everything, you guys. It slows our heart rate. It slows our digestion. Hello, like gut issues, right? It slows our motivation. It slows our cognitive function. So if you're in this state, you might feel yourself feeling like you're battling brain fog every day. You just feel kind of flat, right? You're not there. It's almost like you're watching your life from the outside looking in. You're disconnected. And I want to say it again because I hear this so often. There's often a sense of shame that comes up around being in a freeze response, right? And we're like, man, what's wrong with me? Am I lazy? Like, what is this a character flaw? Like, why can I just not find the motivation? And it's not any of that. It's a biological response to long-term stress and overwhelm. And for a lot of us who are women who've been doing all the things for a long time, caring for everybody, high achieving, like just managing the mental load of life, freeze is what happens after months or years of overfunctioning and overgiving and overriding our own limits, right? Hello, burnout. So let's go through these 7 signs that you might be stuck in a freeze response, because I do want to bring awareness to it, right? Maybe you've never thought of it that way. Maybe you deal with some of these or a lot of these and you've been really hard on yourself about it. Let this be like an aha moment of like, I'm not broken. I'm not lazy. I'm not like whatever it is that critic says. You might just be stuck in a freeze response, and there is a solution to that. Hallelujah. Okay. So sign number 1, you feel emotionally numb. And it's not that you're never like upset or irritated or edgy. It's just that you don't feel much of anything at all. It's almost like this sense of detachment, like you're watching your life happening, but you're not really in it, right? Like you think of, things that your kids might do or say that are like so special or should bring you this like bubbly joy, or things that should make you really sad or really angry, but everything just feels kind of flat. And this is your nervous system protecting you from overwhelm, right? It's blocking out joy, connection, motivation, in addition to the things it's protecting you from. It doesn't just pick and choose. So to support this, if this resonates for you, I would encourage you to try gentle movement, right? How can you bring gentle cues of safety to your nervous system to help you shift out of a freeze response and come back to a place of safety? Gentle movement, rocking, swaying, walking. These kind of rhythmic, non-demanding actions help to send these gentle cues of safety, help to take us out of that shutdown state and shift us back into a state of connection. And this doesn't have to be a big thing, right? Like gentle movement. If you're noticing you're in this state, you're waking up in this state, you're feeling yourself in this state, can you go for a 10-minute walk outside, right? Can you stand up and kind of just sway your body and let your arms sway for a few minutes? Can you sit in a rocking chair, right? Like you did when you rocked your baby. Just that rocking movement is so regulating. It's so soothing to our nervous system. So that's sign number 1. You're feeling emotionally numb. Sign number 2 is that you might be struggling to get out of bed, even when you've had a full night's sleep, right? Maybe you're like, man, I don't know what it is. My kids are sleeping through the night. Like I'm going to bed at a decent time. I'm waking up at a decent time, but I never wake up feeling rested. And the mornings are so hard, right? And it's not that you're just tired. It's like everything just feels like you're moving through molasses. Like you feel heavy, you feel stuck, you feel like gravity is stronger on you than other people for some reason. Like the pull of gravity just feels so intense, and you wake up and your body's just like, nope. And a lot of this is because cortisol, which we know as our stress hormone, it's also the hormone that helps us to get up and get going in the morning, is dysregulated when we're in a freeze response, right? Our mitochondria, our cells' little energy factories, start underproducing energy when we're in a freeze response. So it makes no sense. It makes a lot of sense that we're exhausted in the mornings and we struggle to get out of bed. So here too, just like taking it back to the basics, you guys, if this is you and you really struggle to get out of bed in the morning, even when you slept, can you start your day with sunlight in your eyes, right? Can you get back to resetting your circadian rhythm? Can you get some protein in your system within the first 30 minutes of waking up, instead of pumping your body with caffeine, which further dysregulates your cortisol and your circadian rhythm, right? These are 2 of the simplest ways: sunlight in your eyes in the morning and protein in your body in the morning before you have caffeine. Those are 2 of the simplest ways to help support your cortisol regulation and to reset your circadian rhythm. Okay, sign number 3. And this is one that I've dealt with for decades, and I still feel like deal with when I'm in a freeze response. And it's one of the signs for me, like, hey, Michelle, your body is shutting down. We've got to like scale it back. Let's take a look at what's happening and help my body feel safe enough to come out of a freeze response. Sign number 3 is that you're always cold. You're freezing. Literally, you're in a freeze response and you're freezing. Your hands are always cold. Your feet are always cold. You're always chilled in your body and it just won't go away, right? When I was working at my law firm, I would have like one of those little space heaters under my desk. And like I lived in Miami. It was not cold outside, certainly. And in the office, it was a normal temperature. Everybody was fine. It was whatever, 70 something degrees, right? I was always freezing. I would have blankets everywhere. I would have sweaters everywhere, right? I would be driving in Miami in 80, 90 degree weather and I wouldn't put on the AC because I was always cold. When you're in a freeze response, this is a blood flow issue, right? You're in freeze and your body actually constricts the peripheral blood flow to conserve energy for your vital organs. And it's why your extremities feel cold, right? Blood is being redirected to your vital organs to help keep you safe, right? It's a preservation tactic. So what can you do? Well, obviously, if you're cold, it's the little red flag, right? But like wrap up, layer up, yes. And then if you're able, if you're ready, add in some really gentle bilateral movement, cross body tapping, right? Walking, anything that can help you stimulate circulation and activate your vagus nerve can be helpful in kind of shifting you out of that freeze response so your body feels safe enough to send blood flow to your extremities to keep your body warm instead of conserving that energy for your vital organs. So this is a really interesting one to me. All right, number 4, we're flying through these. Number 4, the 4th sign that chronic stress has you stuck in a freeze response is that you are experiencing brain fog and memory issues. And this was a big one for me too, right? Open the fridge and I'm like, dang it, I forgot. Why am I here again, right? Open the pantry or walk into the pantry and I'm like, dang, I know I came into here for something. Going into my room and just standing there and being like, why did I walk in here? Not being able to find the right words, people bringing up like things that have happened, my kids talking about stuff or my husband bringing up memories. And I'm like, I don't remember that, right? Did we watch that movie? I don't even remember that. Was I there? Are you sure I was there? I don't remember that, right? it just felt like my mind was underwater. And maybe you can relate to some of this. When we're in a freeze response, like it just slows everything down, right? It reduces activity in our prefrontal cortex. That's the part of our brain that's responsible for clear thinking and also planning and decision making and all of these things that we're able to access when we're feeling really clear minded. So it's not that you're losing it. Like I was like, man, am I losing it? Like what's going on here? Didn't you like start taking some different kind of like brain boosting supplements? No, I was not losing it. My brain was just operating in emergency mode. Okay. It was prioritizing. And the things that were not vital for me to remember or do or like have memory of in the moment, I just didn't have access to it because that activity in my prefrontal cortex was reduced, just like so many other systems in my body when we're in a freeze response. So if you're noticing this, another way you can support your brain if you're feeling a lot of brain fog is get back to your breath. Deep, diaphragmatic, slow breathing, humming, even like simple orienting, naming 5 things you see, right? 4 things you hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, and just orienting yourself with your senses help pull you into the present. All of those things help to actually re-engage your higher brain and bring that prefrontal cortex back online. All right, number 5, the 5 sign that chronic stress has you stuck in a freeze response is that you might find that you're feeling like hypersensitive. You might be feeling hypersensitive to certain textures, hypersensitivity to touch. If you're like, this used to happen to me. Like I would get home from work and immediately I would go change out of my clothes because I'm like, I don't want tight pants anymore or to wear jeans or whatever. I would take all my jewelry off, right? Wash my face. And I didn't want anyone to touch me, right? I didn't want my kids to touch me. I didn't want my husband to touch me. Things that used to feel fine felt like too much. And maybe you can relate to this. Certain fabrics, jewelry, tags on your clothes is a big one that I see a lot of. Just kind of like irritated and overstimulated by physical sensations. And it happens because when we're in a freeze response, our dysregulated nervous system kind of becomes hypersensitive to sensory input. And it's part of our body either being in a hyper alert state, but also a hypo-responsive state. So when this is happening to you, like just notice what feels soothing and what feels irritating. So for me, it felt really soothing to like wash my face, have no makeup on, take off all of my jewelry, pull my hair back, and then get into clothes that felt really like loose and comfortable. Other things that felt really soothing to me when I was feeling really hypersensitive to touch or texture, weighted blankets felt really good. Soft cottons felt really good. Grounding textures like wool or linen. And then guys, just reduce input where you can. Like this is a great time to start dimming the lights and turning off the TV and turning off the music and turning off all the noises, the audiobooks, the podcasts. Like reduce input where you can. And then as your capacity grows, as you start to regulate, you can start slowly kind of reintroducing safe and gentle sensations. So that's number 5, hypersensitivity to touch and texture. And then number 6 is maybe you find that you underreact in emotional situations. So if we tend to overreact, right? Something small happens and you have this big response, that's typically indicative of being in fight or flight. But if you tend to underreact in emotional situations, that's a red flag that you're in freeze. Maybe it's like a big conversation that happens or someone says something to you that's really hurtful or a major life event hits or, whatever it is, but you feel kind of like flat. It's almost like someone hit the mute button on your emotions, right? You kind of either shut down or you dissociate instead of actually engaging. This is because the freeze response, it numbs, it disconnects us, it blunts our emotional response. It's self-protective. Our system is just trying to avoid more overload, right? Avoid more overwhelm, avoid more discomfort. We're at capacity. We're beyond capacity. So if this is you, this is a good time to start, again, get back to those grounding tools, okay? Before and after the situations, give yourself permission to kind of come back, like notice, wow, I'm feeling really disconnected right now. Like this seems like something that should evoke a different response or a more emotional response in me. And it's not. I'm kind of feeling flat and nothing right now. It's okay, right? I give myself permission to come back to this tomorrow or in a few days or next week and revisit things once my nervous system feels more regulated. And then the last one I want to go through today, that is a sign that you're in a freeze response, is, my friend, maybe you just feel stuck and you don't know why. So many women that come to me that I work with are like, I just feel stuck. I can't even explain it. I just feel stuck. I feel like I know things that I want to change and I've gathered all of this information and now I kind of feel guilty because I have all this stuff that I know I should be doing, but I just can't do it. Like I can't put it into action. I can't move forward. I don't know what's going on and it's so flipping frustrating. Y'all, that is the hallmark of a freeze response, right? It's not just physical. It's often emotional paralysis. It's mental paralysis. It can be spiritual paralysis. And it's often so misinterpreted as kind of where we started, right? As laziness. It's misinterpreted as a lack of discipline. It's misinterpreted as a lack of skills or tools or organization or motivation or all of these things. And it's not. It's really just your body doesn't feel safe enough to take small action. So guys, let this just be okay, right? Change that internal voice. You're not lazy. You're not lacking motivation. You're in a freeze response, and start small. Get out of your head and into your body. I promise you that if this is coming up and you're feeling this stuckness, what would happen if you hit play on Spotify or wherever you listen to music on your favorite song and just let yourself move for a minute, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and then sat down and chose one micro action for the day, right? Can you brush your teeth while standing barefoot on the ground and breathe and stretch out of your head into your body? You're not going to be stuck forever. It is a freeze response. And as you learn to get out of your head and into your body and bring regulation and safety to your body in a way your body understands, you will gently move out of a freeze response, and then you will be able to take the action that you so want to take. But it's really hard to make any progress when our body is just shut down in this freeze response, okay? So we regulate first, get out of your head, into your body, and then try to come up with the plan, right? And then start small, and then take the action. You do not need to move at the speed of light. In this state, you've got to move to the speed of safety. So if you're nodding along, if you've been nodding along, if there are a few of these or a couple of these or a handful of these that really feel true for you, if your body has felt heavy and foggy and flat and just kind of shut down, again, I just want to remind you, you're not broken. You're just in a freeze response. Your nervous system is doing what it was designed to do. You're actually functioning in a predictable way, right? You've just been carrying so much stress. And the good news that I bring you is that your nervous system is adaptable, you guys. You are not stuck in this response. You're not stuck in a freeze. These are survival mechanisms. They're not permanent conditions. And with the right tools and the right support, you can thaw out of a freeze response. You can come back online. You can feel like yourself again. I promise you, I have been there and I have guided so many women out of a freeze response and back to a place where they feel grounded and energized and like themselves again. So if you haven't yet, go ahead, download the Nervous System Reset Guide in the show notes. It's a great place to start. You'll get more understanding. I have a few different somatic resources and tools in there. It's free. It's science-backed. It's full of, tips to help you start moving out of survival mode. You'll even get a quick burnout assessment inside of the guide, so you can kind of know exactly where to start. Grab your copy now. The link is in the show notes. And I just want to remind you guys, like, if this landed today, you do not need to try harder. Like, can that just be your permission slip for today? I'm in a freeze response and I do not need to try harder. In fact, trying harder is likely part of what got you into this freeze response to begin with. What you need are tools, body-based somatic resources that work with your body gently and not against it. Your freeze response was never a failure, you guys. It was protection. And now is the time to help your body shift out of survival mode so you can move forward. You have got this, my friend. I'm rooting for you so hard. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here with me today. Be well and take care.
If you love Mommy's Podcast, leave a review.
If you enjoyed this episode, it would be so awesome if you could take a moment to subscribe and rate the podcast. And if you have just a few more seconds to leave a quick review, they really help to get this podcast out to other moms like you. I read every last review, and trust me, when it's late at night or early in the morning before my kids get up and I'm working on bringing you all of this content, your reviews are what keep me going. Leaving a review is truly the best way you can thank me. And of course, DM me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to another episode. Head over to the show notes for this episode and all past episodes at michellegrosser.com, where you'll find free resources and more ways to connect with me. If you love the show, share it with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.